G'day, Aaron here, Rustic Traders, Brisbane, Australia, May 2025. Showing off another bike, old school. So we've got one here. I don't know a lot about this or anything about it as far as the brand goes. The head badge says Carthy Cycle Works, and it says HSW or NSW. So we can't quite make it out. It's just a stamped badge. But this is an early one. You know, I would say 19 teens up to maybe 1930 somewhere. I'll show you some features of why we think it's that old. We do have a Tailor stem on there, what they call the major Tailor. Maybe I've mentioned it before that an actual major Tailor stem is a circle and not a square like this one. But it was a good system. You could loosen this bolt and you could adjust it forward or back. I mean, that's a great system, really. You could also turn this around and have it lower down. People would cut these back just if they never planned to use them very much and save weight. But great system, kind of iconic to these earlier bikes. Got the double crown forks. Seen those on some of the other bikes. Normally a sign of sort of 20s or earlier. Head badges here, we'll have a better look at that. Kept it in the as found condition. We just sort of gave the frame a bit of an oil with WD-40 to see if we could find any more information on the brand, decals or anything like that. Doesn't appear to be on there. You can give these an acid bath, which gets rid of a lot of rust. I haven't done that to any of my bikes yet, but I do plan to do that. There's remnants of the pin striping and the flourishing on there, and it appears that it is nickel plated underneath, so would have been a high-end bike in its day. Got the oilers into the hub there. That one's different to some of them. It's a little flip lid. That one is more like something you would have pressed on, and I think it has like a little ball bearing in there or something, and you would, with a little device, squeeze grease into there. We can see more of the pin striping. The top tube's more rusty than the other, but that's because any type of exposure that this had to weather always landed on the top. Even if it sat in a shed for years, moisture landed on top. Now, we've talked about this brazed in section of the frame here before, possibly BSA fittings. This one's a little different. This one has an extra bit to the brazed in bridge there. It goes back. You've got a gap here for the chain wheel, the sprocket, cog, whatever you want to call it, to fit in there. So it would have been brazed right at the back here. That's another thing I've only noticed on pretty early bikes. Maybe they thought it was unnecessary and just made the bottom bracket a little bit longer later on. You can see remnants of the nickel underneath there. Remnants of the nickel underneath and pin striping. Got the BSA style dropouts, the forged dropouts. So this was found in rural Queensland by a guy I've known for a long time. Of course, I had to have it. Got the number 7 seat pole, which we've mentioned before. Again, you had sort of more adjustment than you do nowadays. This one's also got the bit of, we've seen it on bikes before, a bit of leather or a bit of string or a shoelace even sometimes, so that people could get the hub, keep the hub clean. And the hub has the same oiler on the back as it does on the front. The hub says Perry. We'll have a bit of a closer look at this head badge. It's just a brass strap. So we've got Carthy Cycle Works, and then we can't tell if that is HSW or NSW. Could be New South Wales. Maybe someone out there in bicycle land knows something about this brand or history of a rider or a shop or something. We found information about a McCarthy, but not a Carthy. Still a bit of a mystery. There's probably lots of mysteries with bikes out there. One little shop in a small town somewhere. So of course I had to have it. One for the collection. One day I'll have a museum and these will all be cleaned up and made rideable made to look as good as possible, but keeping all the original condition. Anyway, there it is. Cool old bike. 28-inch wheels as they all have. Even the crusty old tires are still on there. I've left them on there because they're a part of its heritage. And the rubber's gone actually crusty. It's gone hard. That's how long it's been sitting. It's like biscuit. So we would actually have to probably cut those off to get them off. Thanks for watching. I'll do more bike videos. Cheers.